Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Update 10.60 just dropped in Raid Shadow Legends, and this just sparked another drama in the community. And obviously, I'm here to address it, because this is so funny. So first of all, this brings a couple quality of life updates to the game, which are quite nice. And with that, the usual champion rebalance. And yes, you heard it right, champion this time, not champions. And this has become a bit of a controversial topic. So let's talk about it. Let me pull up Raid real quick. There you go, Coronar. That's the champion that has been buffed. But before we go through his kit and see the changes, let's talk about a bit about the drama, because this is quite funny for me. So why am I starting the video like this? It's because I want to teach you guys to learn how to manage expectations a little bit, because depending on which content creator you are following, you might have already feel a bit disappointed about this update, or not really saying disappointed. It's just depending on which content creator you're watching or in which community you're like hanging around, you might be as well just borrowing that feelings. And if the content creator is saying, oh my god, we've only got one single champion rebalanced this patch, what's going on here? It only feels normal for me, because I'm a content creator as well, to compare Raid with other games as well. Let's talk about other gacha games. Let's compare it with other gacha games, right? What about these games that bring out champions, new champions, pretty much every month, and they forget about the old champions? They never rebalance them. In this regard, Raid is actually doing quite a good job here. They're rebalancing a few champions here and there. Sometimes there's 2 of them per patch, sometimes is 1, sometimes it's even more, because they're also bringing new champions as well on the table in the same time. And this is why I'm trying to say this, because in Raid Shadow Legends, even though this patch they've only updated 1 champion, previous patch they might have updated 2, and the next patch they might as well just update another 2 or another 1 champion. And you should always avoid having super high expectations, because there's really no point for just like thinking about, hey, I'm having a bunch of legendaries in the account and some of them are super bad. Maybe Raid Shadow Legends are gonna tweak them and they're gonna become game changing, because it's not really like that. We're always getting new champions and we always can achieve some of these new champions quite easily, whether it's a fusion or whether it's a free champion. That being said, this update, yes, there's only 1 champion rebalance. Although this champion rebalance also might help a secondary champion as well, or might be getting help from a secondary champion as well. So even though it's only 1 champion rebalance, it kind of includes 2 champions in the patch itself. So let's have a look at Coronar, and let's go through his kit real quick, starting with the first skill. And I think this is already in the game now, because I just updated the game. Let's have a look. First skill, attacks 2 enemies. Turn meter increased to 100% if Minaya is on the same team. And yeah, it's already updated. So if you guys are having Minaya and Coronar, you should get a huge spike. So check this out. The first skill, which is the basic skill, attacks all enemies with a 50% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 5%. This was previously, right? But now it does that with 10%, right? So it decreases each target's turn meter by 10%, which is turn meter decrease. I'm saying it and I'm always going to say it. It's super strong. But then again, if Minaya is on the same team, right, it attacks all enemy 2 times. And after that, the chance of decreasing each turn's meter will become 100%, right? So it's not 50% anymore. So if you have Minaya, you can team her up with Coronar, and just simply by doing a basic attack, it's going to attack all enemies 2 times, decreasing their turn meter by 20%, which is super strong. All right, let's have a look at the second skill now, because here is where it gets interesting. Previously, it had a 75% chance of placing provoked debuff on all enemies, which stayed the same. But then we have this part here where Minaya is involved, right? Previously, it said that it placed a block debuff buff and a 60% increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns after you ascend the skill. Basically, after you ascend the champion, you already know how that works. And it also removes all debuffs from this champion before placing the block debuff and increased defense buff if Minaya is on the team. This was previously, but check this out. If Minaya is on the same team now, the provoke debuff placed by this champion cannot be resisted. So it doesn't need accuracy anymore. And also if Minaya is on the same team, it also removes all debuffs from all allies and then places a block debuff and the 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, which is super strong. We're having 20% turn meter decrease on all enemies. Then we have provoke debuff without accuracy needed on all enemies. And then we also have block debuffs buff on the team and also increased defense by 60%, which is super strong. And this can be decreased further down to 3 turn meter, is this one? No, this is one. It's 4 turns now. It used to be 5 turns and it can be decreased down to 3 turns cooldown, right? Which is super strong. All skills that are under 4 turns cooldown are super strong, particularly 3 and 2 turns. And then let's have a look at the third skill, and that's one of the last skills, of course. It used to attack all enemies. It placed 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and it also used to place 60% decreased defense debuff on targets under decreased attack debuffs. So basically, if it landed the decreased attack, it also placed a decrease defense. And now check this out. It attacks all enemies, this stays the same, but it places the decreased attack debuff and the decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. So now you don't need to land the decreased attack anymore to get the decreased defense debuff up. It just places both of them in the same time. But then if you have Minaya in the same team again, these debuffs cannot be resisted. So basically this champion with Minaya can be built without accuracy. So you can focus on HP or even on damage because his first skill attacks all enemies and also his third skill attacks all enemies as well. And then as for the last change, they've also added an aura on top of all these changes, which increases ally resistance in all battles by 80%. I almost said 80%, but not really, by 80. So now this champion has an aura as well. But let's not forget about the passives. This champion also has 2 passives. One of the passives says that this places a 60% increase defense buff on all allies for 2 turns if this champion kills an enemy. And then as for the second passive, it counterattacks when hit by enemies under decreased attack, decreased defense, and decreased speed debuffs. But it always counterattacks when hit if Minaya is on the same team. So all this kit and all these changes that have been added to Coronar, it might actually make this champion super versatile now, because he can counterattack whenever he's getting attacked. He can place debuffs like provoke, decrease attack, decrease defense with a 100% chance if you have Minaya in the same team. If you don't, that's a bit of unfortunate because you cannot really, I guess you cannot really play this champion, right? But in this case, if you have both of them, well, that's great for you. This update is going to hit exactly the sweet spot. And that's pretty much everything we are covering in this video. But before I end up the video, if you want to support the channel, we have a download link below for Raid, which gives 2 free legendaries and 3 S-tier epics. And you can always support the channel, and you are also getting yourself a couple free champions, 2 legendaries and 3 epics. The 2 legendaries are Corrado Fox Hunter for downloading the game, and then you can add a promo code straight away after that, Demon Slayer, to get yourself Tholin Foulbeard. At level 15 you will get Uugo. I think we have her here somewhere. Yeah, you'll get Uugo at 15. At 25 you get Taguar. And at 35 you get Lady Killen. Lady Killen is a nice champion and you will need her, well, she's not too strong. I mean, it's nice champion because you will need her to fuse Lady Mikage. If you're lucky enough and get the other materials, you're also getting a mythical down the line. Alright boys, I was Mr. Men Plays. This is Mr. Men Plays Raid YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Take care.